Welcome back, everybody, to the Streamer Inspo Talkshow, where we talk to streamers and content creators about what inspired them to start making content, and we inspire you to go out and do the same. I am here joined by Eyebrowmatt, who is a streamer, and funny story, actually. We met probably like 2 or 3 months ago, and one of the first things that got us talking, I think we were at dinner and you had your stream out, or you had Twitch out on your phone or something.
Yeah.
Talking about your stream, and I was like, or maybe I was talking about it. I don't know. One of us was talking about streaming though, and then the other was like, "Oh, you stream?" And then the other was like, "Yeah." And then we followed each other, and then here we are. Just a few months later, and we're chatting with you. We're gonna get to know Eyebrowmatt a little bit better, and hopefully, we learn a thing or two about you. So, yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Of course, yeah. And so I guess we'll just hop right into it. What made you start streaming? Around when did you start streaming? And did you have any inspirations to start off?
Ooh, loaded question.
We can break it down just one by one. When did you start?
I wanted to start streaming maybe like a year and a half ago, but I did that thing where I got all the equipment and then just didn't. It happens. So I started streaming this past summer around end of June was when I really committed to trying to go live a couple times a week. So I've only been streaming for a few months now, but we're getting there.
Yeah, and I definitely think the process of starting to stream is kind of like a slow burn. You get the equipment, and then you're like, for me personally, I started streaming with an older PC. And not the best specs, not the best equipment. I didn't have a webcam, all this stuff, and tried making it work. Didn't like it. Saw what everybody else was using. Got the equipment, and then I was like, I have this now, but you still need the extra push. And I honestly don't remember what the push was for me. Did you have anything that sort of pushed you? Or was it just kind of did it?
Yeah, fun. My push was a friend of mine started working a 9-to-5 job selling insurance, and I thought, okay, I never want to do that. I should doing things I want to do, and that was my push. Not even this streaming seems fun. More of I don't want to do other stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. And you're right in thinking that. I'm sure nobody really wants to. Just this week, Twitch's source code got leaked, and we saw the top streamers' earnings, and I saw XQC made $700,000 this month, or last month in September, and I was just like, wow, that is his job.
It's pretty good.
And that's his paycheck for a month. If you do the math, hang on, I'm going to do the math real quick. If you take $700K, right, divide it by, for 4 weeks, that's $175 a week. If you divide that by 7, that's $25,000 a day. I don't know how many hours a day he streams, but he's making basically $1,000 a day or something like that. I don't know, a little over $1,000. I'm not good at math.
Math is hard. Yep.
That's why we're not going to be working 9-to-5s in our future.
Pretty much.
What were some of your inspirations? Did you watch any streamers or even YouTubers before that kind of made you want to stream?
Yeah, so I've always been a fan for as long as I can remember. I used to be a big Rooster Teeth fan. Not so much these days, but I used to, every day. And one of their older people, Ray Narvaez, formerly known as Brown Man, jumped over to Twitch like 6-7 years ago, and I followed him over. And he is like, that's the dream. He just plays whatever he wants and whatnot. He seems like a super chill guy. So he's like, if I had to pick a streamer that like, I was like, damn, that streaming seems really cool and really fun, and I liked to watch streams. It was probably him to start. I guess he's the guy if I had to pick one.
Yeah, definitely. Rooster Teeth was always, pumping out content. Are they still doing it? I never like followed them closely. Are they still? I know there was some shit recently that went on, right?
There was some shit is an understatement, but yeah. I don't keep up with them as much as I should, but that was like big enough where I had caught that. And they still seem to pump out a million things a day, but I became more of a Ray Narvaez fan than a Rooster Teeth fan when he left. So
that's cool too, to kind of, they're one as a collective, but then they all kind of have their own endeavors as like separate streamers. What was the first game you streamed?
First game I'm gonna have two answers, because the first time I streamed was for like 15 minutes and it was mostly a test, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. I played Sid Meier's Civilization 5 for like 15 minutes and no one watched, and I was really embarrassed the whole time, and I don't know why. So that was my first stream. First ever time clicking go live was Sid Meier's Civilization 5. First proper let me play some games. I think it was Smite. Probably some Smite. I have a love-hate relationship with that game. Have about 100 days logged into that game over the past 5 years. Sometimes I want to uninstall. Sometimes it's my favorite game. And yeah, I kind of hate streaming Smite because it makes me angry, but also it's what I play, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I had a similar relationship with like that with Valorant. Played a lot of Valorant, streamed a lot of Valorant. I'm not a very competitive gamer by any stretch of the imagination. I'm also a terrible team player, and so those games did not work for me, and needless to say, I play mostly single-player games on stream now. That don't make me mad. How long would you say you gained, traction or like a loyal audience in the last few months? Because I know people tune into your streams. Would you say, do you feel a sense of community on your streams?
Definitely. I shamelessly shilled to everyone I knew for like a month straight. Like, hey, I'm streaming, come watch.
Me at a dinner.
Yes.
Me, a complete stranger.
Yes. Yeah. No, no shame. You do what you got to do. And I feel like I have a nice, community. I have like 2 or 3 people who are complete strangers, not even friends of mine, just like people who have tuned in, who every time I go live, they'll pop their heads in just to say hi. Which is nice. Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's the best part.
When it's like, oh, I didn't tell you to come here. You found your way here.
Yes, can I give a shout out to someone?
Yeah, do it. Shout out
Puma. All I'm gonna say is Puma. You know who you are. First proper loyal viewer who wasn't a friend of mine who I shilled to in every stream, always supporting. Love you.
Love
Puma.
that. Shout out Puma.
Shout out Puma.
Puma's the real one.
Puma is the real one.
And you said that took like about a month to kind of really, or you were just kind of shamelessly plugging for a month and it just...
Yeah.
I mean, do we ever really stop shamelessly plugging though?
No.
Right.
No, I've gotten a little more, I don't want to say less shameless. It's still a shameless plug every chance I get, but I no longer, that first month I was like messaging like old Snapchat group chats from like years ago that no one has talked to in like,
people you haven't spoken to in years.
Yes. Yeah. Like old, like middle school friends. I was like, hey, follow me on Twitch.
Well, I feel like that's just like, if I was on like, I do that a lot on Facebook because I don't go on Facebook a lot, but I'll post I don't do it as much anymore, but I will do it every now and then. I would post my streams in my Facebook, and personally, if I'm on Facebook and I see that someone I knew in high school was like streaming, I'd go check it out because I'm nosy and I'm curious, and even if I don't talk to this person, I want to see what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good strategy, a good strat.
Oh yeah. Also, get my older family members. I'm showing to like my aunt who I haven't seen in years. I'm like, hey, this is what Twitch is. Come follow me.
Yeah, I do that to my family a lot, and I feel like they still don't understand it. I did a big stream recently where I dressed up in like all denim, and then I went to my parents' house and to stream my dog, and then my mom is out there and she's on the phone and she goes, "Oh, he's doing that thing again. These people like give him money." And I'm like, yeah. And a lot of, millions of other people are doing it. Do your family members understand what it is despite, like, even through all of your shilling?
No.
I feel like it's such a hard concept for, like, older people to grasp that, like, oh, you play video games and people watch. Why don't they just play themselves? But, like, obviously it's more than that. But, like, even at that level, it's like people watch because they want to watch other people play it. I mean, I watched a lot of videos when I was younger because I couldn't afford the game,
Mm-hmm.
So I'd watch other people play it and I'd be like, yeah, I basically played it by watching it. I don't think it's that hard of a concept to grasp, but I guess I understand it from the older perspective.
For sure. Yeah, every time I say it out loud, like, oh, what is it? It's like, oh, you watch people play video games. Like you said, there's so much more to it, but whenever I say, like, that out loud, I'm like, that does sound kind of weird.
It's the easiest way to say it, too, because that's, at surface level, that's what it is.
Yep. Yeah.
What have you been streaming more recently? I know you've been doing a book club.
Yes, I've been AFK, unfortunately, for like a week or two now because school picked up, and that's kind of kicking my ass. But I was doing twice a week. We're doing Bad Book Club, where we're reading some garbage YA vampire novel. So yeah, that's the big thing recently with me.
Mm-hmm. I also know when you were pitching your Twitch to me, you were talking about how the thing you were doing at that time was like speed running a game that like nobody played.
Yeah.
Like I think the total view count on Twitch for that game was like like whatever you had, maybe like a few other people.
Yes. Yeah, I Refunct.
Right.
It's like a $2 indie game from a few years ago. And I will regularly be top of the category with like 3 viewers. Speedrunning Refunct. I'm still not very good at speedrunning Refunct, but gotta keep trying. I'll get there.
Hey, that if you get good at that, you're already at the top of the the board for that.
Exactly.
Because you're like the only one streaming it. So I'd say you're making history in a way.
I'm trying. I got sub-minute. The world record's like 40 seconds, something like that. I don't remember. I got sub-minute the other day, and I felt real special.
Felt good. That's good. Have you had any memorable moments from streaming that, like, when you think of just like your time being a streamer over the last summer, do any specific, it doesn't have to be these like huge things. It can be just like little things that happen. Any big or small moments that come to your head right away, like when you think of your experience so far as a streamer?
I got a couple. If I'm allowed to cheat and name a few. Funniest moment. I'll start with that. My mom came in one day, hammered.
Oh no.
Hammered. She had a friend from out of town in. She went out. She comes in. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm streaming, Mom. Like, you can come say hi if you want, but I'm kind of trying to take this serious." And she comes in and she's just like pure confusion because she kind of gets it, but she was like, "Where are they?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Oh, Like, the people who are watching you, where are they? I'm like, they're in the chat. And she was like, you don't see them? They're not. It's like, what do you mean? You think I am, like, face camming with, like, 10, 20, 30 while I play video? And she, like, it blew her mind that I couldn't see the people watching me. For whatever reason. I don't even know why that, like, stuck with her. But then she went on, like, a drunk rant for, like, 20 minutes in the back of my stream about how it was, like, incomprehensible that, like, I couldn't see my viewers.
Imagine if that's how it was. Like, it was like a Zoom where you just see everybody and you're, like, presenting to them. Imagine, like, how much that would be incredibly chaotic.
Oh, it sounds incredibly, and I had to explain to her. I'm like, there are people who have, like, thousands of viewers, and she's like, oh, I guess that wouldn't work. Like, yeah, like, like, it just, so yeah, that stands out to me. That was pretty funny.
Shout out, Mom.
Shout out, Mom, Danielle, bless up. That was a good one. And I got two small ones. One would be the first person who came in and hung out for like an hour or two who I didn't know. Just like someone browsing Twitch. I was speedrunning Refunct. And Ivan comes in, and Ivan is like, if you do this and then this, you'll shave like 10 seconds off. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, Refunct Pro came out of nowhere. And that was a special moment, partially because I had like a proper interaction with someone who I didn't know. But also it was that first moment of like, oh wow, a stranger came in and watched me for an extended period of time.
Staying.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah, it's very rewarding.
It felt good.
It's like it's very good, and it's it's validation. I mean, which is good for us as streamers, because I feel like streaming, there can be a lot of self-doubt. I know personally I've had a lot of self-doubt as a streamer. I've been doing it almost a year, and it's the people that come in that. Both the ones you know and the ones you don't know, but definitely the ones you don't know even make it better for you, because you're realizing, oh, they're not here just because I know them IRL. They're here because they know me from this and they want to keep watching me.
Yes. Yeah, it's that great moment of like, I love when my friends support me, but like this person is choosing to support me. We have no, like, it's very rewarding, it's and very reassuring.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that sticks out. And then I got one final one. It was my first stream after becoming an affiliate on Twitch.
Always the best.
Always the best. And I shilled one final time, like an hour before I went live. I'm like, everyone be there. It's going to be super nice. Like I'm a proper big boy now on the big boy on, I had like 7 people in there.
Hey man.
But my brother comes in. His girlfriend comes in, and then like 5 other family members, and then like 10 friends. And I had like 20-something people in there, and a hype train started. They're all gifting subs, and I was like, oh my god. Oh, like it was.
Yeah, dude.
It was, as someone who has seen plenty of hype trains and participated in hype trains for other streamers, to sit there playing, I think I was playing Dead Island at the time.
Oh, yeah. I think I might have tuned in for that.
Yeah. Dead Island was fun. But just like having like a good chunk of, it was like a record high for viewers. People are gifting subs, donating like a buck or two. But I was just, it felt good. I was like, this is the thing. I'm doing the thing.
This is the thing that you wanted to do, and you're one step closer to not having to work the 9 to 5.
Exactly. So that, yeah,
that's the end goal. Cool. I like that. I got to agree. The affiliate, the high, the rush from it, and the support is always great. Oh, yeah. I got the same thing. Have you had any major setbacks? Obviously, besides like school coming in, like before that, did you have any setbacks that kind of kept you from streaming, or like I mentioned, there's like self-doubt? I mean, talk about that a little.
Yeah, there was a week before school started. School's the big one these days, but before school, I had a week where I would wake up every morning, nothing to do, wanting to stream, and I would have that that doubt of, I always struggle to pick. I want to pick games that I like. You know, I want to like enjoy myself as like someone who's playing games, but I also don't want to just throw on some random nonsense and you know.
You want you want to play what you want, but you also want to play what people might be interested in or might be more engaging for viewers.
Yes, it's that weird line of, I want to enjoy myself, but I understand that if I just, you know, not that there's anything wrong with just playing games. Plenty of people do that, but like, you know, if I just throw on me playing Smite with no special anything and it's just me sitting there playing Smite, people might stop by, but it, you know, I'm one of like 1,000 people streaming Smite at the time. And that week was really tough because I really sat down and I'm like, well, would I rather be successful or do what I want? And like, there's that fine line of, you know,
so it's like a matter of finding something that you like, but also will be engaging for people. I've struggled with that too. And I think personally for me, what I've found, I mean, I barely have time outside of streaming and just like work, you know, time to enjoy myself and play games that I want. So streaming is my excuse to play games, and I'll tend to do that too, play the games that I want, but that might not necessarily be what everyone else wants, and it's just like, it's really hard to find that balance.
For sure.
You know, that's also, I guess that's a good segue into the next question. You know, what are some of the more important lessons you've learned from streaming, or I guess just takeaways, you know, things that have made you a better streamer?
I would say, because this streaming is something I want to like continue to pursue. Like, I would love to do this full time one day.
Don't we all?
Exactly. And I had a moment of realization at one point where, you know, we were talking a little earlier about how like the XQC earnings are like ludicrously high.
Right.
It would, you know, don't get me wrong, I'd take that much money, you know, but
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, who wouldn't? But I had a moment where I thought, I don't need to be rich and famous. I don't need to, you know, like take over the world like some people do. I just, if I get like 150 viewers a stream at one point and I can pay the bills and have like that cute, nice little like community who like I get to know them all and like,
right. That is totally different than like an XQC stream with thousands of viewers. You know, you can't, I mean, and that's the thing too, you tune into those and you can't even read chat.
Nope.
Because it's going at like 100 miles an hour. And you know, that's fine, whatever works for those streamers. I mean, they also can't really control that their fan base has gotten to that point, you know.
Exactly.
They can't just be like, hey, leave. I don't want this many people, get up.
Yeah.
You know. But I agree that the smaller but still big, 150 is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like that is, and it's good because it lets you still keep tabs on like people that you know, it's easier to, remember people, whereas, you got 11,000 people just typing away in chat and then you like are looking, but all the names probably are like meshing together. I mean, I don't know what it's like. It might, I don't know,
Yeah.
But I don't want to know in a way. If it gets to that point, so be it, but gotta love the smaller community. Do you think it's easier to be a content creator now compared to 5 or 10 years ago, or do you think it's harder?
I'm gonna cheat and say yes and no. I know that's not
okay.
I think it's
let's hear.
I think it's a lot easier because there's so much more content out there that, and just like, I mean, like, I had this talk the other day with someone about how like younger kids, like I have a cousin who's like 10. They know more content creators than they know like traditional celebrities.
Right.
Because
that's
just what kids consume these days, not to like generalize.
Yeah, they don't watch cartoons. No, they don't watch like SpongeBob or like, iCarly like we did, back in the day. They just watch YouTubers and vloggers and streamers and
Yep.
and Let's Players.
So yeah, so I think it's easier because it's just such a bigger medium. You know, there's so, you know, TikTok. I'm not really a TikTok guy, but like, you know, there are a crazy amount of people who blow up on TikTok. Just, you know, make like a 20-second thing that's just huge.
That's the way to get discovered these days.
My girlfriend has a following on TikTok. She has like 11,000 followers, you know, which like is in the grand scheme of things like nothing. But she does like dumb TikTok trends. I love her, but like you know, it's
yeah.
And people
gotta follow the trends.
Yeah, and so I think it's easier in that it's also just I think it's much easier to do, right? Like again, TikTok, you just need your phone and an app. Right, and you can be a content creator.
Just about every 10-year-old has a phone these days.
Exactly.
I'm not giving if I have kids, I'm not giving them a phone.
I have a niece who's 6 who has the new iPhone, and I have a nice phone, but she has like the brand new just came out, and I'm like, it's
nicer than yours.
It's nicer than mine. I'm like, oh my, well, you know.
That is messed up. I don't want to sound like a boomer, but like that's fucked up.
I totally understand it's a different era, different time, but 6 is a little young especially for like you know.
Well, that's just like so much at their fingertips. Like a 6-year-old, like the shit I discovered with an iPod. Honestly, no, I'll even go back further. The shit I discovered with my mom's laptop at the age of 11.
Ooh.
Like I saw shit that I shouldn't have seen, and I was on forums that I shouldn't have been on, and watching YouTube videos, going on websites that just like an 11-year-old should not be going on. What makes you think a 6-year-old should have access to that?
Oh yeah.
Like I want to know the process there of like how they ended up giving a phone to a 6-year-old.
I stay out of it, you know.
I think that's the best way.
Just I'm not gonna get involved, you know. She calls me sometimes. She's like, "Oh, Matt, it's good to see you." Okay, bye. You know, nice to see you too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's a lot easier in, you know, it's just bigger, you know. But I also think that makes it a lot harder because it's so much bigger. There's so many more people doing it. I mean, who doesn't want to be a famous streamer? You know, I'm sure there are people, but like who, you know, you make your own hours and you get paid a ton to play video games.
Right, exactly. And you know.
Yeah, no, that's really it. It's, you know, it's bigger, so it's easier because there's more content, but it's harder because there's more content. So
there's also more access to technology, and everyone's got a game or a PC. You know, consoles have built-in, you can stream from your console.
Yep.
All that stuff. And I guess I could also agree that I could also say no compared to 5 or 10 years ago because there's so much that it's not oversaturated necessarily, but there's just a lot more to sift through, and there's a lot more pressure to stand out as a unique individual streamer. And so it's up to us to figure out how we do that.
For sure. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
And thankfully, we have great community members and viewers to make us not feel as pressured and make us feel loved and supported. Shout out to you guys. And we're almost at the end of these questions here. I wanted to know what your goals are for the future of your content. We talked a little, obviously, you know, love to have Twitch as a full-time job. If you have any other goals, I'd love to hear them and how you hope to achieve them. What's your 2-year plan? Let's hear your 2-year plan.
Oh, my 2-year plan. Well,
I would say 5-year, but 5 is a lot of years.
I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, so let's stick with 2 years.
Sounds good.
Well, I will be getting a college degree in about 3 months. And thank you. I double majored in film production and acting.
Wow, look at that.
I know. I'm a bit of an actor. So 2-year plan is to finish that, and then I've wanted to expand to YouTube. I have a film degree, or I will have a film degree and an acting degree. As much as I love Twitch, I would love to I'm gonna hit you with an elevator pitch right now. Okay, for whatever reason, I was thinking of the movie Yesterday the other day.
The Beatles one?
The Beatles one. And, everyone forgets who the Beatles are, and he, plays all their songs, and they're like, oh, that's so good. I don't know what came to me, but I thought of recreating, a bit of that, but the band everyone forgets is really bad.
So the guy doesn't get famous?
Yeah, and I just thought he, plays a song, and it's and everyone trashes on Nickelback, which... but I'll use them as an example because everyone knows. Everyone forgets who Nickelback is, and one day he's, playing, Photograph on a guitar, and his friends are like, what is that? He's like, oh, Nickelback. And they're like, well, and it's that whole interaction. I'm like, oh, well, it kind of sucks. You should not...
I'd love that. I feel like, my personal opinion, I liked the movie Yesterday up until... he got famous.
Yeah.
Because you've done what the point of the movie is, but now it's just okay, now he loses the girlfriend, and then he goes and fucking meets John Lennon, who's still alive in this universe. That fucked me up. But I feel like if you just have it be a band that sucks, there's a lot more potential for that to be its own movie and have it actually get the job done, because he could go and meet Chad Kroeger.
Yeah.
And then Chad Kroeger will know about the other universe where Nickelback does exist, and he'll be like thank you for spreading the good word, and then they I don't know.
Yeah.
Take it from there. But there's a lot of potential there, and so is that a pitch for a sketch you had, or
it's I just want to make stuff like that. That one specifically came to me, but just I want to just do sketches, fun videos. I've been working on a ghost hunting show as my college thesis for a while now.
That sounds awesome. Writing one,
or
filming it.
Writing one, and I want to film it. It's called Spirit Squad, which I found. Someone pointed out about a month later that the abbreviation for Spirit Squad is SS. It's not great.
Yeah. If you if you end up doing Spirit Squad along the way, and you need an editor or something, or someone to help. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I also have a film degree. So
Yeah, definitely. That'd be great.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Did I strike a nerve?
Yeah, I don't know why that just fucking got me.
That broke you.
That broke me a little bit. Oh.
But yeah, YouTube is definitely a beast in itself to master.
Yep.
And I do the whole YouTube thing. Their algorithm is God knows what at this point. It's fucking confusing. But it's good to have content everywhere.
Yep.
Even on Instagram, even on TikTok. I started using TikTok to promote my own streams and videos.
Yep.
I don't see a ton of results, but I see more results than I did without it. So, miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
But that is definitely a big thing, is getting more of your name out there on different areas, because some people might not use YouTube, some people might not use Twitch, some people might not use Instagram. Twitter's another difficult one, so it's just a matter of covering your bases, even if you don't want to.
Oh yeah,
because it can be very draining.
Yeah,
from my experience to the promotion, constant self-promotion on shamelessly,
of course,
shamelessly just
Oh yeah.
Any advice to any aspiring streamers out there who are thinking, might be on the fence, don't know if they want to do it yet, but they almost kind of are they got their finger over the do it button. They got their finger over the go live button.
Yep. The Wonkinator button and the the big red. Yeah. I'm trying to think what I wish someone had told me. It's kind of generic, but just hit the button and go live. Yeah. That was my biggest issue was just doing it for so long. Just like, what am I gonna play? Is anyone gonna watch? Just do it. Just get hours under your belt. I've only been streaming for a few months, but I feel way more experienced and better at it than when I first started. It's only been a couple months, but that first week I was like a little awkward. Not sure what but just do it. Someone will come in and say hi eventually, and then it just grows from there. I wish I had something more specific, but that's what I struggled with, is just so.
Yeah, I think a big one for me was worrying that I'm not entertaining enough, because I've done the whole Let's Play thing on YouTube. First off, I will say this. Doing Let's Plays is incredibly hard. I remember freshman year of college, I did a Pokemon Yellow Let's Play. Sat in my room, on my bed, recorded on my Mac, and I played an emulator of Pokemon Yellow. And I would do like 30-minute Let's Plays, but it'd be so difficult, like to just like keep a conversation going. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just playing this game, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, I'm starting to talk about like my home life, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm taking this down. This is just like too personal. Like I'm like almost kind of desperate for things to talk about. So I would start talking about like my mom and my siblings. Like, what, these people don't care about my mom or siblings. No offense. You came here to see me play this game, But Twitch and just streaming anywhere really has made it a lot easier to keep it moving. You have, obviously it's hard with you start with basically nobody in chat, but when you build that, you gotta have patience. But when you build that and you have people talking in chat, you're able to keep it moving and keep it interesting, and like you're talking to people. A big thing too can be the viewer count, which I have disabled, so I don't look at it.
Nice.
But it can be very discouraging to see that, only so many people are watching you. And that is my personal advice, is just disable that. I sometimes will keep it on if I have something big going on, but another thing I did too in the beginning was I would be like, oh, there's like this many people in chat. I don't like doing that. I started off doing that, and I was like, I don't like doing that. Because then it's like, I'm not calling anyone out specifically, but it's like, I don't know, calling out the view count to me is like, it's gray area. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Any last sort of, well, first off, actually, I want to thank you for joining me on the Streamer Inspo Talkshow. You are the 4th guest. So when this podcast / whatever format this will be in becomes famous, you will be one of the original guests on here.
I got in early. So,
yeah. Remember where you came from.
Of course.
When you're famous.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. This was great.
Yeah, I think we had some good talks, and hopefully the people got to learn a little bit more about Eyebrowmatt. And plug yourself. Let's hear what you got.
This is why I always shamelessly plug over text, because I hate like hyping myself up.
Because you can't talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I do that too. Like I get the Instagram video and be like, "Hey guys, going live," and I'm like, "Fuck, I hate that."
Yeah. No, I just I'll just go for it.
Send it. Here, hang on. I'll even move out of frame so you don't have to look at it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, no. Can you come back?
Yeah.
I stream over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eyebrowmatt. I'm great. I'm really funny and awesome to hang out with, and you should come see me, or don't. That's okay too. But it would be cool if you did.
Awesome. Is that it?
That's all I got.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us on the Streamer Inspo Talk Show. Go follow MrGaleer on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, MrGaleer_Twitch on Instagram and TikTok. And that's the whole shebang. Thanks once again for joining me, and see y'all on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.